today's video. So in today's video, I thought we would take a look at another Nintendo official magazine. Now I have made one of these previously, and I'm going to go ahead and link that video down below if anyone is interested in checking that out. But let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first up, of course, is the front cover of the magazine. And this is the April issue 103, I believe from 2001. And at the time it was only £2.99. On the front we have Pikachu because inside we have a segment on the new Pokemon Gold and Silver game for the Game Boy. Down here is a bit about Mario Bros. Advance, and also in the magazine we have Conker's Bad Fur Day and Paper Mario as well. Let's go ahead and open this up, and I will try my best to centre it on the camera. So on the first page, as you can see, it's just an advertisement, and then we have what they call Team Nintendo, who are the editors of this magazine, and down here are ways to get in touch. And then we have like what is the contents page for this magazine, so everything that's going to be inside. So like on the front cover we have Pokemon Gold and Silver, Conker's Bad Fur Day and Paper Mario. We also have some reviews for Star Wars and Rugrats. Blackfest is where you can win some items. We have some game guides, and in the very centre of this magazine is a free Game Boy magazine. But the first game that we have up tonight is of course Conker's Bad Fur Day, that was made by Rare, and it was a 3D platformer, and it came out in March 2001. This is one of my favourite games on the N64. And there is Conker's, and here it says, "Are you talking to me? Forget the Conker you saw in Diddy Kong Racing. This squirrel's a big makeover and is ready to kick butt. Blast off into the world of overboarding cavemen, revolting bosses, and filthy language your mum would be ashamed of, but we love it." Okay, so up here it says, "Oh, what a night. Take the platform action of Banjo-Kazooie, add a dash of perfect dark blasting, and you'll get an idea of what Conker's all about." And then he's saying, "Doesn't look too good tonight." Outside, a black shadow looms above Conker. Not knowing what's going on and feeling a bit worse for wear, he faints. Now you're ready to take up his adventure. And then here it says, "Down the pub, Conker rings his girl Berry to tell her what he's overheard." And then it says, "The army of Teddys is extremely vicious, and our bushy-tailed hero must stop them." And then we meet your maker. You'll first get to meet Death when you eventually stagger out of the pub. With his razor-sharp scythe, don't mess with the dark side. Listen carefully, Conker. And then we have one of the bosses. Meet the smelliest boss you'll ever fight on your N64. This giant poo looks absolutely disgusting. Scattered around the cavern are loo rolls which you can chuck at the poo to wipe him out. Please shut your mouth. Dumps don't cut much bigger than this, and you'll need a gas mask if you go anywhere near him. Must have been a curry last night, eh? And then down here we have the crazy cast, so we have Conker and his girlfriend Berry. We have Birdie, Frankie, Panther King, Mr. King Bee, the Beatles, and Carl, who's got a cigar in his mouth. Spill some claret. Oh no, Conker's helpless from being thrown 10 feet in the air as a Teddys direct hit smacks home. Don't worry though, dust yourself down and get after him. Keep your eyes peeled for anything that stands in your way, or Conker's gonna get it in the neck big time. Just watch that blood squirt everywhere. You can see it on that one. Race the river. Surf's up. This white knuckle race is just what all you speed freaks are craving. This unforgiving track is no place for rookies. The boards zip over lava and you'll need to stay in control. Look at the screenshots, it's so old. To make races more fun, you can challenge the spiky-haired caveman. If you get within shooting range, try chucking a bone at him, Watch out for Dino's foot though. And then the Blaster Master. Watch that nuke fly through the air. In this cooperative mode, one of you takes control of the Mean Machine, leaving your pal free to blast everything in the path. Watch out, enemy fire is coming from all angles, so get across the ledge sharpish. So that is Conker's Bad Fur Day. Next up we have new game reviews. So on the new game reviews, they do this scoring system. So 0 to 44, real rubbish. 45 to 64, still not worth playing. 65 to 79, nothing too special. 80 to 89, pretty good. And 90 to 100, amazing game. You must play. And this is of course Pokemon Gold and Silver. And when it was released, it was only $24.99. But I guess it's a handout game and maybe they were cheaper. Right here, right now. So you've completely finished the red, blue and yellow versions of Pokemon. With 151 beasties at level 100. What's left for the Master Trainer who's got everything? Right from the wicked intro sequence, you know it's going to be cool. Bet you can't wait to see all the fuss is about. We think you'll be impressed. 100 new Pokemon await you. Which one will be your favourite? Unplug the phone, shut the curtains, and get ready to read all about it. And down here it says, better stock up on batteries and clear this month's from your calendar, because you won't be able to put it down. Can you imagine if you was halfway through a game and the batteries run out, and you didn't have any more? Pog around the clock. Make no mistake, Gold and Silver are massive leaps forward, and nothing shows this more than the new night and day feature. Things look a bit spooky in the dark, who knows what's lurking out there. Some Pokemon such as Hoot Hoot only come out at night and it's 24/7 fun. Getting on the road. Like their predecessors Gold and Silver give you a choice between 3 ace Pokemon to start your adventure with, but who will you choose? So the starter Pokemon are Totodile, Cyndaquil and Chikorita. Deadly rival. You'll be glad to hear that Gary, your rival from Red, Blue and Silver, doesn't appear in Gold and Silver. In the bag. Finding items in the previous Pokemon games was always a pain, and this is an upgraded backpack with 4 different compartments. Amazing poker gear. This poker gear wristwatch computer is another brand new feature in the Gold and Silver, and what a top piece of kit it is. The radio is just so much fun and really useful too. With it you'll find rare Pokemon and win prizes. You can store up to 10 phone numbers in your poker gear. You can even phone Professor Oak. Detailed maps of Johto and Kanto can be accessed through your poker gear, so you'll never get lost again. Throw away your old watch with this piece of kit. You've got a watch, phone, map, computer and radio all in one. Pokédex help. Another feature to get a Gold and Silver makeover is the Pokédex, and it feels a lot more user-friendly. Like in Red, Blue and Yellow, the Pokédex will show you a map of where to find a specific Pokemon, but only after you've caught one of its kind, that is. The new Pokédex mode lists the creatures in their evolutionary order, rather than by number. For example, Piku would be followed by Pikachu and Raichu. The normal Pokemon info screens are still packed with useful details on all 251 creatures. You'll love reading all about the new Gold and Silver Pokemon. You can use the search mode to find a particular Pokemon type. Looking for a dual electric and water type, use the feature and let Slowpoke do the work. Love is in the air. As most bees are either male or female in the new poker games, you can use Daycare Centre to breed them. Here's how. Drop them off. As in Red, Blue and Yellow, you can drop off a couple of beasties for those kind people at the Daycare Centre. While you're away, if you dropped off 2 Pokemon of opposite genders, their chance might, well, you know, getting friendly and make a baby. It's a family affair. When you return to the centre, you'll be given an egg. Carry it around in your squad for a while, and it'll hatch. The new beast will look like his mother, but may have some of its father's moves. Hanging on the telephone. If you like to natter on the phone, you'll love the Gold and Silver. It's packed with trainer talk. Ring ring, you'll be happy walking along when your phone rings out of the blue. Hi Liz, how are you? You can store up to 10 phone numbers in your Pokemon gear. Most trainers only talk nonsense though. Trade in places. As you would expect, you can trade critters between gold and silver versions. And then we have an advertisement for Jaffa Cakes. Dear Diary, a week is a long time in the world of gold and silver, but there's never a dull moment as there's so much to see and do. So he's done a week's worth of what he does. So like on Sunday I found myself at Goldenrod City. Saturday he went to Blackthorn. On Friday he caught a Lapras. Monday felt like a trip. Tuesday, well, so glad I came back to Johto. Wednesday, I heard about a guy who turns up at the lake. And Thursday, my squad was looking scruffy, so I took them to Goldenrod City for a groom. And there's like a map there. Take me to your leader. So we have the 8 gym leaders: Faulkner, Bugsy, Whitney, Morty, Chuck, Jasmine, Bryce, and Claire. Poke FM, the new gold and silver radio, is an integral part of your Pokemon gear and great company on your long and winding adventure. Keep 'em happy. A happy Pokemon is a strong Pokemon. So if you want to rise to the top, you'll need to show your monsters respect and affection. Feed it, heal it, groom it, and battle it. Handy Headbutt. Headbutt isn't an attack you'll usually associate with Pokemon, but you'll be using this move a fair bit in gold and silver. We then have Photo Fun and the Game Boy printer, and they've printed off some of their Pokemon and their abilities. Look how bad them prints are. Shopping Trip. The towns and city of Johto and Kanto are a shopper's paradise, offering a discerning trainer everything they need to succeed. Welcome to the Goldenrod department store. Card sharking. It's not all work in gold and silver, you know. Even the most dedicated trainer needs a bit of relaxation now and again. And what better way than a quick bout of gambling? That would not be allowed in kids' games now. And the next review is for Star Wars Episode 1, Battle for Nabo. And this came out on the N64 in March 2001, and it was nearly £50. And you need a rumble pack and of course the controller. It's time to dust down your lightsabers as the threat of the dark side is looming large over the peaceful planet of Nabo. Ship shape, so some of the ships: Flash Speeder, Gunboat, Starfighter, Police Cruiser, and Heavy Stap. Changes. One definite improvement over Rogue Squadron is the ability to change craft in the middle of a level. So you can go into your hangar and a screen pops up giving you a choice of craft, and then you pick one. Know your radar. Any pilot worth his salt must have full command of his ship systems. Familiarity with the radar is essential if you hope to crush the Trade Federation's threat of invasion. And then down this side, we have some other games from the Star Wars series. So we have Shadow of the Empire, Rogue Squadron, and Episode 1 Racer. Buried bonuses. Finishing Nabo is no small task, but you can make it easier if you find hidden bonuses dotted around the game. Early in this level you should spot a tank that's hitting you with everything it's got. Take the sucker out with your secondary weapon. Destroying the tank reveals tempting passageways. Go on, you know you can't resist. Swiftly snap up the bouncing bonus and hurry back to the front line. Good work, soldier. Check you out, you super sleuth skills have earned you an advanced shield technology. Control yourself. Anyone familiar with Rogue Squadron will feel right at home, but if you're a newbie it's important to know what tricks your craft are capable of. A quick tug on Z slows your craft down. Hold down R to pull off extra tight turns. Useful trick when flying is the ability to roll your craft by holding the C button when turning. If you're a fan of the awesome Phantom Menace, you'll really appreciate the massive amount of authentic detail they've charmed into this game. What Star Wars game would be complete without this line? It still gives us goosebumps every time we see it. A long time ago in a galaxy far away. Shush is a secret. As was the case with Rogue Squadron, Battle for Nabo is jam-packed with more funky extras than you could shake a Wookiee bowcaster at. Use the Force and you might be lucky enough to unlock one of the secret levels. Pointless but fun, one of the secrets buried in the game lets you turn all the craft into a delightful shade of pink, and there's one of them. Unlock the awesome gallery mode and you can take a look at some tasty original artwork. One of the coolest hidden features, enter a code on each level. The developers will give you hints to discuss how they designed the game. Medals of Honor. The key to unlocking many of Nabo's secrets is to win a full set of medals by fulfilling certain criteria in each level. Complete tasks on each level to improve the stash of medals. And there's some of them there. Location. Battle for Nabo is a dazzling varied world filled with different terrain to test your gaming skills to the max. So we have outer space, water levels, swamp over snowy peaks, and you'll also have to find yourself through the maze of cities. Prequel, sequel, showdown. Battle for Nabo is the sequel to the wicked Rogue Squadron, so we've decided to dig the original of Dusty Gaming Vault and carry out side-by-side comparison. That's so hard to read because my ring light is shining down on it. So they've compared the graphics, the missions, the ships, the secrets, and their final verdict is the original Rogue Squadron still rocks and benefits from a wealth of unique Star Wars crafts it has to offer. Battle for Nabo edges it on gameplay front though, and gets our vote as the best N64 Star Wars blaster. And then here it says Two's Company. So your ship has two weapons, your primary weapon there, and a secondary weapon, which is a lot stronger than the actual weapon that you get. We then have an advertisement for gold and silver. And next up we have some reviews for Rugrats in Paris. Okay, so this game came out on the 30th of March 2001, and again it was nearly £50. And it says if you love Mario Party games, this will be just the ticket. Choose your fave buddy for a top adventure. Beat your mates. The one-player game lets you roam the park freely as you try to rescue the princess. But you can play with up to 3 buddies and decide who's the best Rugrat. Jump into your dodgem and grab balloons and ninjas. Don't drop the lot. Use the frog's sticky icky tongue to eat the bugs. The mini golf course is pretty, but the path for each hole is strict. Okay, then we have some of the mini games. So this is basically a bowling game. We have the dodgems where you pop the balloons, and this is basically whack-a-mole, but it's called Whack-a-Ninja. I've got a golden ticket. Once you've found loads of special tickets, you can take them to the gift shop and trade them in for some amazing toys. And then on the game we have these map icons, and when you find them you should use them so you can find your way around the park. Follow the pretty signs to find hidden mini games. Explore narrow alleyways, as you can find loads of hidden tickets and extra attractions if you go hunting. And this game got a score of only 71%. We then have an advertisement for the Pokemon Master Guide, and next up is some awesome games that you can pick up. So they do this in all of the Nintendo magazines. They show you some games, the prices and their score. So for instance we have Banjo-Kazooie, which was £30 and got a score of 96%, and I definitely rate that game as really good. We then have like Beetle Adventure Racing, Donkey Kong 64, which got 96% as well, Duke Nukem, Excite Bike, F1 World Grand Prix, and that got 90%. These have all got high scores, and that's why it's called the Awesome Collection. At the bottom are some controllers that you can pick up, and they were all really cheap, like £20, £15. They also do some like highlighted games here, so we have Jet Force Gemini, and it got 93%. It also tells you that you can use an expansion pack. You don't need a memory pack, but you need a Rumble pack. We have Mortal Kombat, NFL Quarterback, Premier Manager, Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Puzzle League, and then down here we have some Rumble packs. Again, all really cheap. There's one here for only $6.99. Absolute bargain. We then have what some of the editors are playing. So Tasman is playing DK64, Mark is playing Perfect Dark, and Dave is playing Pokemon Gold and Silver. Again, we have some more games, and the highlighted one is South Park Rally. I really love this game. I've got it on my PlayStation 1, and it got a game score of 90%. We then have the South Park game here as well. South Park have made some quality games, but their latest release is It's Snow Day. It's not that great. Then we have Super Mario 64 that got a score of 92%. And then again, some really cheap memory packs that you can pick up for your N64. We then have Tarzan that got 90%, and Super Smash Bros, which I did in my last video as like a Through the Ages video, and that also got 90%. WWF No Mercy, Majora's Mask, fantastic game, 96%, and then Ocarina of Time that both nearly got 100%. Then we have some steering wheels. These are a little bit more pricey, like we've got £60, £50, but some steering wheels today are like nearly £300-400. It's crazy. They then have some games that they say are worth a look. So Chef's Love Shack, I think I've got that on my Dreamcast. NBA Jam, Supercross, we've got Yoshi's Story. What's that one called? Wipeout 64. Then got ISS 2000. These look like they've all just got just slightly under 90%. And then the sales chart, so the top selling game was Lego Racers, F1 World Grand Prix, Mario Tennis, ECW Wrestling, Carmageddon, Operation Winback, Pokemon Snap, Chef's Love Shack, Cyber Tiger, and Power Rangers. Next up is official tips. We solve all gaming problems. All our cheats and guides are easy to use and guaranteed to work. So first up we have The World Is Not Enough. Unlock some tasty multiplayer goodies. This James Bond shooting classic has loads of hidden secrets, but unluckily for us, there are no easy ways to unlock them. WWF No Mercy. All the secret characters revealed. So if you do this cheat, you can unlock all the characters. We then have Banjo-Kazooie secret codes to get some mysterious eggs. And then it shows you how to do the cheat. Mickey Speedway USA. Tips to help your race across the states. And then it shows you the controller icons in case you're struggling to put your cheats in. They then have their official Nintendo top 5 tips. So for The World Is Not Enough, Mario Tennis, Speedway, WWF No Mercy, and Perfect Dark. And here's one for GoldenEye. So for invincibility, look at all the different buttons you've got to press. All of the guns, maximum ammo, and invisibility again. Let me just take this magazine off quickly. Hard as nails. Turok 3 is full of pan-to-fill-in bosses, but the most terrifying by far has to be the evil Oblivion, who you meet right at the end. As soon as you take care of him, he transforms into something else, but you can make mincemeat of him by following these simple steps. So it shows you how to defeat him. Okay, so let's go back to this middle magazine for the Game Boy. So on the front of this we have Mario Advance, Harvest Moon 2, the Blackfest where you win prizes, and Blade. So reviews for Harvest Moon 2. I'm not going to go through this one too much because this video is going to be really long anyway. So Fairground Attraction. The game begins in a small cabin where the mayor proposes turning the farm into a giant fairground. Name the day. With 3 years to save the farm, you'll need to learn fast about planting crops and rearing animals. Slash and burn. At the start of the mission, the farm is in need of repair, so turn it around, you'll need to sort out the mess. Man's Best Friend. Harvest Moon 2 is a great title for animal lovers, and at the start of the game you'll be given a pet to follow you around. It's so hard to see with my ring light. Day into night. One of the keys to the game is the fact that the different things happen during the night and the day. Wakey wakey, the start of the day you'll be able to see everything in the field, As hours tick by, the colour of the fields change, and it won't stop the rain though. The shops are only open during certain hours. Leave it too late and you won't be able to get into any of the shops. We then have some village people, so Ken, Mary, Daisy, Rosie, Chet, Doctor and Bill. Green fingers. To make more money to buy bigger and better equipment, you'll need to fill the fields with different crops. So there's how you plant the crops. To keep an eye on what happens each season, there's a schedule you can activate on the menu screen. Collect the lot. Harvest Moon 2 is packed with bugs and fishes to collect during the time on the farm, but that's only the half of it. So we have some fish in there as well. And this got a score of 90%, so not too bad. We then have Alien Encounter for the Game Boy Color, and it was $24.99 when it came out. That's kind of like the standard price for handheld games, I think, back in 2000. Every time an alien takes a bite, you'll change colour. Search every nook and cranny of the ship, because you'll be sure to find some useful items. Hidden throughout each stage are some troops who will give you goodies for your inventory if you approach them. In the middle of the screen is a motion tracker letting you keep an eye on what's around you. You've received a distress signal from this massive space vessel. You better get on board and start kicking some alien butt. There are 5 marines to choose from, and each has their own speed and stamina levels. Pick wisely, and this game only got 69%. We then have Blade, again $24.99, and that got 88%. Ants Racing also got 88%. Robin Hood 84%. The Emperor's New Groove got 50%, that must be really bad. Player Manager 2001, which is a football game, only got 55%. Lego Racers got 65%. And Rugrats in Paris got 56%. Next up, some official tips for Tony Hawk's, Perfect Dark, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Inspector Gadget, and some top tips from Nintendo there as well. So for Pokemon Pinball, Pokemon Yellow, Mario Golf and Spider-Man. Game Boy Test. We've carefully selected the best in GB gadgets just for you. So we have some clip-on covers, some shelves to put your games on, and then a travel pack. And then the best GB games. So best platformer Tarzan, best racer Wacky Races, best sport All-Star Baseball, and best adventure Pokemon Gold and Silver. Then we have a bit about Mario Advance. The GB Advance title will be a classic old-style gameplay with the added delight of 4-player battles, should make you dribble with anticipation. And then on the back where you can win some prizes. And then we have the tips from the readers of the magazine. And the winner was for the Banjo-Kazooie tip. So to get into Gobi's Valley without completing the mega tricky puzzle, you have to enter this code. It's so long. Then WWF No Mercy. And new ways to play. Think up novel new twists on any N64 game and send in the usual address. And then some scores from the readers. So think you're the best at the N64 games, prove it, and you could win yourself an Ace prize. That can't be bad. So people have sent in their scores for WWF No Mercy and The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And then the Masters. All of these tough Nintendo challenges are set for true gamers, yet we keep on getting entries from filthy cheaters. We then have The World Is Not Enough, and this is a walkthrough. Stealth required. The first part of your mission is to get underground tunnels without arousing any suspicion. Time to put your guns away. The Pits. Locate your yellow and black striped beam on the ceiling, aim your grapple watch, and fire, climb up and jump. Take cover and waste the men in blue. Don't fire too wildly, Jones is covering up here, and if you shoot her by accident, it's game over. Tunnel vision, can you feel the level getting tougher and tougher? Escaping, you'll now be treated to a cool cutscene showing Bond escaping from the explosion that follows him down the tunnel. Renard, this is your first meeting with the evil genius Renard, but you don't get to kill this horrible boss just yet, because you'll manage to escape this time. There's a new James Bond just coming out, isn't there, soon? And I had a look at the collector's edition, it was like £130, crazy prices. City of Walkways 1. You're in the docks and yet there are missions to complete. It's a tough level and you'll need weaponry you can find. Sokovsky. First you have to find your old mate Sokovsky. This turns out to be easy, but the level will get a lot more difficult near the end. Keeping Sokovsky alive. Now you've made friends with him and you've decided to help him. This means keeping him alive till the end of the level. That ring light is so annoying. Heavy weapons. You'll get to meet some terrorists who use really big guns. That means if you can kill one of them, you'll get to take their weapons. And then we have City of Walkways 2. So helicopters. You'll remember these amazing helicopters from the film. Barrel blasting. Twine is filled with explosive barrels. These can be used to destroy groups of enemies that are tricky to kill with normal gunfire. Helicopter gunship. This is the hardest flight on the game by far. The helicopter gunship is even tougher to get past than the final boss. Turncoat. There is no set time limit, but if you go slow you'll get messages hurrying you along. One too many of these and it's all over. Fallen Angels. This is another level where you get to go with all guns blazing. Better make sure that you pick up all the weapons and ammo you can find. Carnage. This is more like it, more bad guys to kill and lots of them. The graphics is so square. Oops, I hope that wasn't too loud. A sinking feeling. Now that you've rescued poor old M, it's time to track down the evil Renard, but it's not going to be easy, Mr. Bond. Sailor shots. This level is crawling with nasty terrorists masquerading as sailors. It's up to you to shoot the red-capped bad guys. Sub-Aqua. You fought your way through the Sailor Boys, and you're now ready to go to the sub itself. Go on. Christmas Jones is waiting. The ring light is like literally right on this bit. Control. The action's really starting to heat up in your submarine below. And now you start massive explosions too. Your next mission is to rescue the lovely Christmas Jones. She reminds me a bit of Lara Croft there, like in one of the older games. Meltdown. Well done, Mr. Bond, you've reached the final and hardest level. Dryland. Now it's time to kill the evil Renard once and for all. You're finally ready for the confrontation with the ultimate bad guy of the game. Don't be nervous, because it's pretty easy to do. Escape. Wicked boss Renard is dead and there's very little else to do now other than escape from this sinking submarine. You did it. You have all the shots. You have shot all the bad guys, saved the world and managed to get in the good books of a fine looking lady. Pat yourself on the back because you've completed the game. Next up is Pokemon Puzzle League, and this reminds me a bit of Columns that came out on the Sega. To be the top block builder, you have to know different block types. Making chains is the most effective method of winning. This is where two or more combos link up to give your rival a big bash-in. Rich rewards. If you play one-player stadium mode, then expect to meet in battle with famous poker people from both cartoon and the games. You're rubbish. If your opponent is getting better of you by dumping piles of trash on the screen, then fear not. A major advantage of unleashing a torrent of combos on your mate is that it makes your screen pause instead of scrolling up. Pokeball blocks are the sneakiest, most devious and downright dirty blocks of the entire game. Pokeball combos are really nasty and they send a fat wad of concrete over your opponent. Top tip: if you see your rival's screen getting quite full up, quickly press LNR to scroll up the screen. Perfect, these top tips will help you soon be a Pokemaster. Why not invite your mates over and give them what for in Puzzle League? Next up is the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Magic Beans. Once you've got your ocarina and walk back to the first day, you'll have to go to the swamp and rescue a monkey. Clocktown Map is the main place you'll come across first problems in this awesome N64 adventure. So here's the map: Great Bay Coast, Fairies Fountain, Snowhead, Bomber's Hideout, and Akana Canyon. The Lens of Truth. There's lots to do before you can enter the Snowhead Temple. The first thing you need to do is find the Lens of Truth. Hot Water Springs. The rock munching Gorons are experiencing some freak weather and everything is frozen. The leader of the Gorons is also stuck in a block of ice and unable to speak. Entering the Snowhead Temple. There's a fierce wind at Snowhead Temple, and to stop you getting anywhere near the entrance. So down here it shows you what you've got to do to get inside. Forge your sword. You can get your sword sharpened inside the house near Goron Tomb. This is not essential, but if you get your sword forged, it'll make enemies easier to kill later in the game. Next up is powder kegs. I'm just going to lift this slightly. There are certain areas of the game that are blocked by extra large boulders that your stranded bomb won't even scratch. I cannot see, it's so annoying. Get a Bonia. We've got tons of calls asking how to get a Bonia, so even though it's not very difficult, we thought you would throw it in anyway. Most of you start looking for her far too early in the game. Then we have some of the masks, so Deku Mask, Kathy's Mask, Fairy Mask, Goron Mask, Blast Mask, Brayman Mask, Bunny Hood, All Night Mask, Mask of Sense, Kamaro's Mask, Donkeru's Mask, Garu's Mask. Then we have Club Mario. Here's the bit of the magazine that you write, so people write in. I'm not going to go through this bit too much, this is just where people have wrote into the magazine. And this is another page of that as well. And people could also email, if you could even get internet. I bet it was dial-up, I bet it took ages. Then we have Blackfest, where you can win some items. So Pokemon Gold and Silver, a Batman VHS, and then a Tweety one as well. And then we have the Pokemon Center. So people at the Pokemon Center showing off some of their goodies. So he's got the Game Boy Color there. He's got a Pikachu Teddy. She's got the pink Game Boy Color there as well. She's won a goodie bag by the looks of it. Pokemon is good for you. These like vitamins. I can't believe Pokemon sold vitamins. We then have Nintendo News and Paper Mario. So when this magazine was released, this game wasn't out yet. It was coming out in late 2001. Like Pokemon, the combat system in Paper Mario is turn-based. After you smack your opponent, you have to wait while they take their turn and hit you back. Then we have some screenshots from the game there. Next up we have Indiana Jones. Again, this was released in April. I don't know if this magazine was out when this was released, but it came out in April. We've got a fresh batch of screenshots from Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. We'll be reviewing in the next issue, see if Indy's all he's cracked up to be, so maybe it wasn't quite out yet, because they're going to review it in the next magazine. And then we have Aiden Chronicles, again to be confirmed the release. And then we have Rayman Advance, again not out yet. The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror for the Game Boy Color. That game is so hard. I downloaded it a couple of days ago on my PC and it is so hard. And then we have a bit about the Sega. And then what's in next month's magazine. And then we have Kane from WWF and the old ringtones where you can ring up. And then on the very last page, we have an advertisement for Cartoon Network. And that is the end of the magazine. And as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching. And until my next video,